Through the peephole, I saw him, soaked, silent, and the knocking never stopped, even though his hands never moved. I used to think the scariest thing about living alone was the silence. Nights where the refrigerator hum feels too loud, or when the house shifts and settles and your brain starts inventing reasons for every small sound. But the night the knocking started, I realized silence was never the real threat. The real threat is when something is trying to break it. It began on a Tuesday. A regular, stupid, forgettable Tuesday. I'd just gotten home from work, tossed my jacket on the couch, microwaved leftovers, and sat down to watch TV. Nothing unusual. No weird vibes. No feeling that someone was watching me. Just a normal evening. I went to bed around midnight. I remember checking my phone one last time, scrolling mindlessly, then drifting off, and sometime around 2:30 a.m., I shot awake to the sharpest, clearest sound I've ever heard. Knock, knock, knock. 3 quick taps on my front door. Not timid, not aggressive, just intentional, like someone wanted me to know they were there, but not why. My heart started pounding, but I told myself, it's an apartment building, people come and go. Maybe someone knocked on the wrong door. Maybe a drunk neighbor got the units mixed up. I waited. After a minute, I forced myself out of bed and walked barefoot to the door. I looked through the peephole. Nothing. Just the dim hallway and that cheap, flickering exit sign. I went back to bed trying to convince myself it was nothing, but some part of me knew, in the way your stomach drops when something is seriously off, that it wasn't a mistake. The next night, it happened again. Same time, same exact pattern. Knock, knock, knock. This time I froze, didn't breathe, didn't move. It was like my body knew not to get close to the door. Again, I checked, nothing. By the third night, I was already anxious before bedtime. My mind kept replaying the sound. Something about those knocks didn't feel human. Not evil or supernatural necessarily, just wrong. Too precise, too controlled. At 2:31 a.m., right on schedule, the knocks came. This time, a little slower. Knock, knock, knock. Well, like whoever or whatever was doing it knew I was listening. I opened my door faster than I should have. The adrenaline made me reckless, and the hallway was empty again. But something new was there, something that made the hairs on my arms rise instantly. There were wet footprints on the floor, not huge, not small, human-sized, bare feet, damp, like someone had been standing in water. They led from the stairwell straight to my door, and then stopped. No turnaround prints, no trail going the other way, just 3 perfect footprints facing me. I didn't sleep that night. The next day, I went to the building manager, an older woman named Janet. She gave me this tired look, like she'd been through this conversation before. "Middle of the night knocking," she said, rubbing her forehead. "Yes," I replied. 3 knocks, same time every night. She didn't even look surprised. People complain about noises all the time. Thin walls, old tenants, rodents. "Rodents don't knock," I snapped before I could stop myself. She sighed. "Look, if it happens again, record it. Then we'll see." I left more frustrated than before. She didn't believe me. No one would. That night came too fast. I lay in bed wide awake, my heart thudding in my ears as I watched the minutes crawl by. 2:27, 2:28, 2:29. At 2:30 a.m., the air in my apartment felt different, heavy, charged, like the moment before lightning hits. Then it came louder than ever. Knock, knock, knock. I flinched so hard the bed shook, my breath caught in my throat. I grabbed my phone and shakily hit record as I walked to the door. Every step felt like wading through thick fog. Every instinct screamed at me not to open it. I lifted the phone, recording. I looked through the peephole, and this time, someone was there, a man. He wasn't facing me. He stood sideways, his body pressed weirdly close to the doorframe, as if trying to hide from the peephole's view. I could only see part of his head. His hair was wet, plastered to his skin. His clothes clung to him like he had just walked out of a lake. He lifted his hand slowly, lifted it like he already knew I was watching. And then, inches from the door, he tapped again. Knock, knock, knock. I stumbled back, my whole body shaking. I didn't open the door. I couldn't. The knocking stopped instantly, like he knew I'd stepped away. I pressed my back against the wall, phone still in my hand, and listened. I didn't hear footsteps walking away. I didn't hear the elevator. I didn't hear a door open or close. Nothing. Just silence. When I finally looked again, he was gone. The next day, I marched back to the manager's office, video ready to show her, but when she watched it, she frowned. "There's nothing here," she said. "What do you mean? He was right there." She turned the screen toward me. The footage was blank hallway, no man, no knocking, just the static hum of my phone's microphone. I felt sick, a real physical nausea that twisted my stomach. It didn't make sense. I saw him. I know I did. That night, I didn't sleep at all. I stayed on the couch, lights on, every muscle tight. Midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., then, instead of 3 knocks, I heard the doorknob jiggle soft at first, then harder, like someone testing my lock. Then, a whisper, "Let me in." My blood froze. It wasn't a request. It sounded like someone trying to remind me of something, like they had been here before. I crawled backward on the couch until I hit the wall. I covered my ears. I didn't want to hear it, didn't want to acknowledge it. The whisper came again, closer. "You heard me." I must have passed out at some point, because the next thing I remember is waking up on the couch at sunrise, shaking, exhausted, and terrified of my own front door. I moved out 3 days later. The last night I stayed in that apartment, the knocking didn't come at 2:30. It came at 1, then 1:30, then 2, then 3. It was like he knew I was leaving, and right before dawn, as I stood by the door with the last box in my arms, I heard a single, sharp knock. Just one. Not asking anymore. Just saying goodbye. I looked through the peephole one final time. No one was there. But wet footprints trailed down the hallway, slowly fading, like they finally found somewhere else to go.